Blue-collar jobs in this country are disappearing right now at a rate we haven't seen since the depths of the pandemic and the 2008 financial crisis. Manufacturing, construction, trucking, the trades, all down over 120,000 jobs from the peak last year. And here's the number that should really get your attention. Of every new job added in this economy over the past year, people without a 4-year degree got 24% of them. People with a bachelor's degree got 76%. The same economy, completely different experience depending on which side of that line you're on. Let me show you exactly what's happening and what it means if you're in one of these industries. Let's start with the plain numbers because I want you to see this clearly before we get into why. Manufacturing has lost more than 200,000 jobs since its peak in early 2023. That's not a blip, that's over 2 years of straight decline, and manufacturing's share of the total American workforce just hit a record low, under 8%. For a country that built its middle class on factory work, that number alone is worth sitting with. Construction tells a similar story. The industry added 191,000 jobs the year before last. This past year, 52,000. That's a massive slowdown, and it's not spread evenly. Residential trades, specifically plumbers, electricians, roofers, the people who actually build and fix the places we live, lost nearly 55,000 jobs in the last year alone. Put it all together, and blue-collar industries overall are down about 123,000 jobs from the peak reached in early 2025, and it's been declining almost every single month since February. The last 2 times we saw a drop like this were the early shock of the pandemic and the depths of the 2008 financial crisis. That's the company this moment is keeping. Now, here's why this particular slowdown matters more than just another economic statistic. These weren't just any jobs. For the last decade, manufacturing and the trades have been pitched over and over as the smart alternative to a 4-year degree. Learn a skill, get your hands dirty, skip the student loans, and you can still build a real middle-class life. Good wages, real benefits, a path up that didn't require a mountain of debt. A lot of people made real decisions based on that promise. Skipped college, went into a trade, built a career around the idea that this path was solid and dependable even if it wasn't glamorous. And now even that path is shrinking, not because they didn't work hard enough or pick the right skill. The industries themselves are contracting, and that's a different kind of problem than an individual career setback. That's the floor moving under an entire category of work. And here's the number that makes this almost impossible to ignore. Workers without a 4-year degree make up the majority of the entire American labor force. More than half of everyone working in this country didn't go to a 4-year college. But over the past year, that majority captured only 24% of new job growth. Workers with a bachelor degree or higher, less than 40% of the labor force, a clear minority, captured 76% of the new jobs created. Let that sit for a second. Picture 4 new jobs getting created in this economy. Statistically, 3 of them go to someone with a 4-year degree. 1 goes to everybody else, which is most of the country. That's not a small skew. That's the job market actively sorting itself by credential in a way it wasn't doing just a couple of years ago. And to be clear, this isn't because trade school graduates are less employable as individuals. Vocational program graduates have actually had stronger job placement rates than bachelor's degree holders in recent data. The problem isn't the workers. It's that the industries where those workers are concentrated, manufacturing, construction, the trades, are the ones actually losing jobs right now, while industries that lean more towards college-educated workers like healthcare kept growing. So why is this happening? Economists point to a handful of factors hitting these industries at the same time. Rising costs for raw materials and manufacturing inputs have squeezed factory production. Construction has been hit by labor market shifts and slower business investment, especially in housing. Trucking and warehousing have cooled from their pandemic-era highs. I'm not going to stand here and tell you which policy or which decision is the cause, because that's genuinely contested among economists, and it's not really what this channel is for. What I can tell you is what's actually happening in the numbers and what it means for somebody trying to plan their next move in one of these industries. That's the part that actually helps you. So, if you're in one of these industries or thinking about going into one, here's what I'd actually do with this information. First, Know your specific sector's numbers, not just the national headline. This slowdown isn't evenly spread. Specialty electrical work and data center construction are still growing, even while residential construction is shrinking. A welder in one region might be in high demand while a welder somewhere else is struggling to find hours. The national number tells you the overall direction, but your local market is what actually pays your bills. Look up job openings in your specific trade and your specific area before making a big decision. Second, if you're already established in one of these fields, this is the moment to build whatever flexibility you can. Cross-training in an adjacent skill, picking up certifications that widen what kind of work you can take on, staying ready to move toward the parts of your industry that are still growing rather than the parts that are shrinking. Third, and this is the harder truth, just learn a trade isn't the guaranteed ladder it was sold as a few years ago. It's often still a better bet than a lot of alternatives, and skilled trades aren't going away as a category, but it's not immune to a broader economic slowdown, and treating it as a sure thing the way a lot of advice still does isn't honest anymore. Go in with your eyes open. The trades were supposed to be the answer for people who didn't want or couldn't afford a 4-year degree. Good wages, no debt, a real path to a middle-class life. Right now, even that answer is getting harder, and almost nobody outside the industry is talking about it. You deserve to know that before you bet your future on it, and you deserve to know it without the spin from either side telling you it's either a total catastrophe or nothing at all. It's somewhere in between, and now you've got the real numbers to make your own call. I make these videos for people who work for a living, no suits, no lectures, and if this was useful to you, send it to somebody in the trades who needs to see it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.